Hi everybody, welcome back to Garage Studio Modelers. I'm Dave Forrest, I'm here with my good friend Harvey Lowe. And in today's episode we're going to do something a little bit different, where we thought we'd talk about two different types of build. And the build I'm going to talk about is the next thing we're going to do on the show here, which is the new Tamiya Panzer 38T. And then Harvey's going to talk about a far more complex and challenging build that he's currently working on.
Short now, or are you going to brag about how easy that is?
Well, I mean, everybody knows this. I think
that's brand new, right?
That is brand new. That just came out late 2019, and it was
Tamiya kit.
Tamiya kit took me 4 nights to build.
4 nights.
4 nights to build, very leisurely, like a couple of hours every night. I did it over the Christmas holidays. I was very relaxed. No problems at all with the build. No challenges.
Seriously, 4 nights.
4 nights.
So that's 2 hours a night, say?
Yeah, maybe. And that's taking time, and that's having a drink. Maybe looking at different YouTube videos, as I know you and I both like to do while we're building. So very leisurely.
You know we don't script for these, and you never told me how long it takes. So that would be 2, 4, 6. That's 8 hours. So if you sat
tops,
right? So
so really, there's probably 5 or 6 hours build time. Tops, really.
One day.
Oh yeah, you could knock this out if you were so inclined. It goes together that well. Yeah.
Okay. Well.
So what do you got? What do you build?
Okay. Now this is not a video about this build, and we're talking about the whole notion of a mixed media, multimedia model build versus basically out of the box, right? That's
exactly right.
Okay, so when you see this model, don't email me about. I would like one of these because apparently I got this model for $60 at a flea market in a model show in Toronto, and I thought that's interesting. Apparently it's very hard to get, but this is the model. I didn't know that this model is extremely rare, but I thought I was in for a challenge because the guy that sold it to me when I opened the box, Dave, it was already kind of like pieces cut, some stuff.
Started it, yeah.
And then I talked to the guy, says, "This is a rare kit, it's a neat kit," and he told me that there's no way he has the patience to build it.
So you automatically took the challenge on.
$60. This kit apparently, if you get it in the box, I've seen it on sites for $200. If someone were to give me another one of these now, I would not take it.
No.
I'll show you how far I've got. So, you've got that. That's ready for weathering.
Yeah, that's ready for paint.
My model here is ready for paint.
Yeah, you got some paint on it, so there it is.
Right.
Very nice art.
Thank you. My first 48th, to be honest. I'm a 72nd aircraft guy.
It's quite that's a big kit. That's a big model.
Beautiful. Last night, I got one of those magnifying glasses, and I hit the tail, and then there's a little crack in there. So, oh my God!
Oh, no.
And that took 6 hours to build. That took another hour.
Tops 6. Tops.
That took an hour to fix this
that
little
thing,
crack.
An hour. Wow, that's.
So I'll tell you. Here's the sanity of what I went through. Do you want to?
You mean the insanity?
Insanity.
The insanity.
So, it's anybody who's built resin models. The parts have a lot of the older resin have a lot of these air bubbles and what do you call pinholes. And interestingly enough, maybe it's for a different video, Dave, but I found that when I sanded and cleaned it and got this looks great, as soon as you apply paint to it, especially a primer, like the Tamiya, I use Tamiya primer on this out of the can, the holes appear. It must be some sort of chemical reaction where...
Or maybe you just see it more, there's more of a contrast.
But I looked through it with a magnifying glass. So that whole process of sanding the wing, prepping the resin, getting rid of the air bubbles, probably took a week. Like 2 hours every night. So 2 times, that's 30 right there versus, how do you say?
5, 6 tops.
Right.
Tops. Really.
First step.
And it's not even built.
Really, no, it's not. I haven't even started gluing.
The parts,
really. Yep. It's
wow.
Rough, right? You have to cut them off you guys know, cut them off the resin blocks.
I know you paid $60 for this kit, and it's probably a pretty good price, but I think the other guy got the better deal. Because he
could have used $60.
He's sane.
Yeah.
He's sane now, right?
Could have used $60 for a
psychiatrist. His mental health is in a good state. Your mental health.
Oh my God! To be honest with you, Dave, this project was therapeutic in that I had something to think about, at the office and having a rough day. But then it's work. So
Sure, yeah, I can.
right?
Yeah, in all seriousness, there's no way I would attempt. I have a few resin kits in my collection here and there, but I haven't. That's and I've seen this as you've gone through and you can.
Let's see your instructions.
Very simple, right? Here are the instructions, right? Nicely laid out, just very, very simple.
This goes there with arrows.
Yeah, the typical Tamiya, right? Very no fuss. The only thing I should mention this though. The only thing on this build though is that there are some for these hooks. There are some clamps that have a seam in them because they're kind of part of the lower hull and part of the front plate here, and I just have to kind of fill that seam.
But the seam was minor.
Yeah, very easy.
Well,
Right? Didn't take me 30.
Everything's got locating pins. Everything's
Everything's easy. I mean the turret is a complex shape and it just kind of falls together. Like it's just I was impressed. Actually, I was very impressed with this kit.
Well,
except for those clamps, except for those retaining plates. But that's the only minor complaint. And
I can see on the turret here, everything just kind of falls together.
Yeah, everything
this
fits
goes here.
Yeah, it fits really well. And for a complex shape, sometimes that doesn't fit. But this easy.
Look at this. This is the tail section, which, by the way, because the aircraft is so huge, they cut the fuselage in two parts, so you got to fill that. I don't know if the real aircraft had that, but look, there's no arrows. Look, where's this go?
What is that?
That's the little bulkhead, just where the rear landing wheel is. Oh, this thing's just floating in the air. Where does this go? And look at the cockpit. You don't know. I guess people who build some of those 72nd Ace kits, they're the same. But look at this. The Ace kits are good. But look, it's just a seat there. This thing, where's that go? This is the underwing gunner's position.
Is that like the tub? Yeah.
Yeah, the tub. But it just give you the parts, kind of floating parts.
I guess you have to be a bit of an advanced. This can't be your first rodeo.
No, but
I guess
there's a difference between scratch building because you have control over it, as opposed to taking somebody's and then you got to work with what they've done, right? I mean, look at here's another thing. The wings. Seeing the wings here, there's absolutely no locating pins. Nothing. It's done all by hand. The wings and alignment of parts probably took another week.
And that's key for an airplane, right? Is the dihedral. You get that wrong, you're done.
So you didn't have to do anything but the seam, right?
Correct.
We're going to show some pictures that I'm talking to you. Robert will load them as they'll flash across the screen. But I had to take some spacers and space them in the wings because the wing, it was too low, it was too narrow.
I remember that, yeah. I wasn't sure how we were going to get that done.
I thought, do I use putty? That's not going to work. So then I had to heat the wing in boiling water for a few seconds. This was already glued. And then I had to put spacers in to get the wing root the right height, the wing thickness to the fuselage. And that took about a week. And then I had to put a metal bar to get the right dihedral.
Yeah.
There's a metal bar from here.
Yeah, and you'll see that. You'll see that in the photos.
Right? Now, I don't know if you can... I think it's pretty good. But the whole dihedral thing probably took maybe another week. So I'm already up to maybe a month just prepping parts and doing stuff. And you prepped it in 6 hours total time.
Why?
Cut.
Why?
Glue.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
The only thing I get out of it is a unique kit.
Yeah, that's true. You're not gonna see this. Although I hear Tamiya's coming out with one. No.
I gotta finish.
They're not.
So when you buy these mixed multi,
But it would be funny if they did.
It would not be funny actually.
Well, I would find it.
I'd
a
use
little humorous.
Well,
just a bit.
$60 would go a long way to a psychiatrist. So when you build these, everything that you get in the model is kind of limited. So you get one of these great. Hey, do you remember this, modelers? Vacuum form canopies.
So so did that come with the kit?
They gave you two.
Oh, two. Okay.
So they figure, well, hey, advanced modelers.
You're probably not going to get it the first time.
If you're going to screw it up, we give you two, right? And so I
That's
just
amazing.
yeah, I mean it's beautiful vacuum form, but guess what?
No, it's amazing that you have to cut this out and
Yep.
fit it in. And,
Fit it.
Wow, that's not easy.
Fit it. That turret fit in like it just goes right there.
What did Robert say? This looks like something food would come in.
What like a
Sushi.
Like a sushi.
sushi tray?
A sushi
Yes.
tray would come in like that. Yeah.
So anyway, I got an extra. I'll sell because it's rare. I'll sell it on eBay for like what $50, $100 or something. So watch for this on eBay. It's a I didn't tell you. Oh, you saw it on the box. It's a Cont 1007. Okay, what's the Alcyon? And it's by Alpha Flight. I forgot to
Alpha
mention.
Flight, that's
Out of LA. They're no more.
Yeah, I can wonder why. Like,
Yeah.
who's
I typed in the address. It's like some parking lot at Sunset Boulevard, right? They're all gone.
Who's gonna do this?
So
Except for you.
look at this. The kit. Okay, I took the 72nd masks for the Italeri Cont 1007, and Vince.
So those are 72nd. Okay.
And Vince made a couple. I blew them up in different sizes, hoping that some of these would fit the canopy, and some did. And then I basically Vince took these to a what do you call those things? A silhouette printer.
Okay. Yeah.
So in order to get the masks, so I had to do that. That probably took a week and a half just to get the. This thing's also got canopies on the bottom. See.
That's that's impressive.
Well, I don't know how it's going to turn out. So there's the canopy stuff. Not done yet. The propellers were this weird white metal that bent. So I had to use the quick boost. And if you guys are ever building Italian 48th aircraft, believe it or not, the P-38 148 propellers fit.
They're a good match.
They're a great match.
So you have to buy those. You have to source
buy
them. And
those.
buy
That
them.
took money.
Yeah.
So $60 adds another, so it's adding up. Get it?
Yeah.
These are the propellers. Now with the that's a P-38 propeller. The hub was fab.
Yeah, actually.
The hub
yeah.
was really nice.
Yeah, that looks really nice.
Somebody over there in Sunset Boulevard on this did a really nice.
And I love the red.
red.
Yeah.
And for you Italian, I don't know a lot about Italian aircraft, but these are apparently kind of like similar to RLM 65, which is like a light blue. So I learned a
Different.
bit.
Yeah, those are really nice.
These took about another 3 days just to do these. There's 3 of them. The hardest part, the flaps. So the flaps, these come in 2 pieces in the kit, and these go obviously in here and here, right? Now I want the flaps to go down. Well, guess what? The depth and diameter of the wing, I guess, thickness is different here than here by about 1.5 millimeters. So I had to put a shim.
That's cottage resin for you, right?
Cottage resin.
Yeah.
Cottage headache. So I put a shim there, and I had to sand this down to even out the thickness. That took a week. And then these just don't kind of like fit in. Like, what's the name of that company? Tamiya?
Tamiya. Yeah, Tamiya.
So everything just fit, right? For you?
Yeah, easy. Like not.
See these little wires? I had to space these, put holes in here, and then these will fit in here. Because if you don't have the wires, they're all loose and they're out of alignment. And then I had to, one of these was a different size than the other side. So I had to shim them. Same with the ailerons, that took 2 weeks. I'm up to about 2 months.
That's crazy.
And then I gotta add, decals. So I want to do the 172nd, I probably got it wrong, Squadriglia. Vince is correcting me because he's Italian. And I wanted the markings for Battle of Britain. So the decals were fabulous. These came in the kit. But I wanted to do the, so John Wong was kind enough on his Alps printer. I scanned some of these.
Those look amazing.
Maybe this is a different video, like just have something, maybe he can come in and talk about how you make custom decals. So I scanned this out of a book.
I just buy them.
So they're in there, right? It's like
everything's in the kit.
like a number, what is it, 2?
Yeah, 522. Right,
522.
nice red. That's all done. I
Like
mean,
the
it's me. The decals are a little bit thicker, but we have ways of getting around that. So it's very simple.
Thanks, John. But the decals took
Those
a while.
are very nice. Yeah, those are very nice.
Vince took a silhouette printer, reduced the numbers to give me you can't see it, but the fuselage numbers because they were unique to this aircraft.
And this is a Battle of Britain example.
Battle of Britain. They fought in the Battle of Britain. By the way, I got lucky. These aircraft had no armament on them in the Battle of Britain. They had no bombs. They were used as diversionary aircraft because they were so fast. And they flew against some of the southern...
And this is a wooden build.
This is wooden...
Like it's all wood.
Yeah,
it's all wood.
Wood aircraft.
Just like the Mosquito.
Yeah, except the nacelles.
Except for the yeah.
So, and you can't tell, but it take a lot of work to figure out, because I'm not as, these propellers, two of them are a certain angle, the other one is the opposite angle. One's counter rotating or whatever.
Oh, right, okay.
And so I got to make notes of this for the judges and stuff. So that and then landing gear. Look at this. This is the original. Can you zoom in on that? This is the original landing gear. It's white metal. Looks good, eh? But look. Ooh, it bends. Ooh, it bends. So I had to.
Doesn't look very sturdy, does it?
No. Did you have to? No. Did you have to do anything to the tracks?
Well, yeah. I assembled. I don't have the tracks here, but I assembled them so that I can paint the model with the tracks off, weather with the tracks off, paint and weather the tracks separately, and then put them together.
How long did it take you to do the tracks?
That was about an evening, so maybe 45 minutes aside, maybe.
Were they Lincoln?
They were Lincoln length.
Yeah.
So pretty easy to do.
It's hard to tell them. Well,
surprisingly easy to do.
Really?
Yeah.
I gotta get that kit.
You might need, like a palette cleanser after this build here, just to kind of,
Well, I had to mask the gear off, but some pictures that you'll see on the screen will show you the gear. The gear is scratch built, so that took 2 weeks, right? Because the metal's useless. Like, it looks great, but it's so...
So would you use the scratcher, like plastic? Or?
Yeah, styrene rod. And then what I had to do is I had to take the wheel, cut through it, and insert a little brass rod so that the alignment of the wheel would be... Because otherwise you're just gluing the landing gear to the wheel and it looks horrible and the strength is not there. Because this model's actually quite heavy. We're not done yet. Engines. You have an engine in that thing?
No.
You can't see it.
You can't see it. It's in the back.
Well, you can see these. Well, they're masked. The radial engines?
Yes.
So the kit engines were really, really white metal crude. Just crude. So what's this company? I bought 1/48th, the Piaggio engines for Italian aircraft. Okay, so I got a deal on the $60, but the engine set itself. Each engine was like $20. So 3 engines is the same as buying the kit. Did you buy any aftermarket?
No, it's an out of the box build. The whole point is to stay away from aftermarket.
Okay, be quiet.
Okay.
All right. So we're not done yet. Then I gotta buy these nav landing lights because it didn't come with that. I didn't even say I had to buy. Well, this is for a different kit, but I had to buy a similar one of these interior sets
for seatbelts.
For seatbelts because he didn't give me any. The interior parts were not bad, but oh man, they needed a lot of shimming and cutting to get the cockpit in. I forgot to mention that. That took a week. I got these neat little turnbuckles.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And I put those on there. So there's a lot. Look, can you see all this?
So there's some rigging to do as well.
Rigging.
Wow.
Look at this. All this stuff.
That's crazy.
I had to buy.
How'd you find time to do the Falcon? Like.
Oh yeah, really, eh?
Like, how did you
well, I'm married, but maybe not for long.
No, that's.
And now I'm at painting, and this has been probably total of about maybe 5 months. So I think the debate, Dave, is it right now, and you guys can add comments. 48th aircraft is all in the same category, multi-engine. They have a separate category for vacuum form, which I've done and I will never do again. But this will probably go up against the Tamiya
P38. Yeah, it'll probably go up against probably some Edward 110s. 110s.
Right?
That's not an easy kit either, but not, kind of in between this and the Tamiya kit.
It's going to be tough, right? So I don't know how they're going to do it, but I think so.
Well, that's the challenge. Bravo, Harvey, for this is amazing that you've got it to this point. I remember seeing the kits in or the parts in the box and like, there's no way this is ever happening. Harvey just bought something he's never going to build, but again, you proved me wrong on this. But it's that's the challenge though, is that if you take it like it comes back to judging and the experience of judges, and if you're competing with something like this, you're going up against some much easier kits to build, and the judges aren't necessarily. I mean, you can always have that. You can always have the photos with the booklet that accompanies the model, but unless they really unless they're builders and they really understand, they can empathize with the pain, and it's hard. It's hard. I always find that this type of work is rarely recognized and rewarded in judging, and I think you would really. I would agree, Dave. I mean, even the basic thing I forgot to mention is the seams.
The seams on this thing were at least 3 to 4 millimeters, especially even
Yeah.
in the tail area, Robert. This area here, the gap was about 3 to 4 millimeters because the dehedral's wrong. Like you put it in and it's like, so I had to put spaces and rods.
Aren't your engines upside down?
What?
They're fine. It's okay.
Just give me a heart attack.
Oh.
This is live. Okay, I'm gonna throw it at the wall right now. So this,
Or me, yeah.
so the seams I had to use. First of all, I glued the whole fuselage in sections, working it along, right? Because if you just put it all together with no locators, it's going to be off. I had to use super glue, and then I used 5-minute epoxy in some areas where I could adjust it. Then I used automotive body filler putty, and then I used that. What's that green yellow plumber's putty? That stuff. What's it called? They sell it in the bottle stores now. The tube.
Yeah.
I forget. I had to use that. I had to, and of course I normally use the Tamiya putty, but I figured I'd try that stuff. It was a little soft. I had to use, so then I have to sand it. I probably had to sand and then put coats of primer over it, sand again. This fuselage, it kept getting that ghost seam line up here.
Yeah.
And I finally got
Common
it.
problem.
Yeah. So the seams took probably 2 weeks.
Yeah, I have to. I've built a few aircraft in my time, and I plan to build some more in the not too distant future. But I gotta say, between aircraft and armor modeling, as much as I hate to say this, I think it's a step up to do aircraft because the tolerances are so much lower. With armor you can hide a lot with the weathering. To be fair, right?
Yes.
Here there's no hiding anywhere.
That's a good point.
Right?
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of.
Never mind on a complex resin cottage industry kit.
Right. But I'm always doing this against the light. Do you know what I mean? I don't do that with armor. Like you're doing it against the light to get the angles, looking at it in a mirror. Using up my wife's makeup products to brushes and stuff because those are actually good. I probably went through, those tubes of epoxy, 5-minute epoxy where the applicator is 2 tubes and you push the plunger down. I went through 1.5.
Oh, really?
Just to do this.
I went through about a quarter of a bottle of thin cement. But that's only because I spilled it halfway through the build.
You spilled it? Not on your model.
No. That's on the mat.
Well, that looks great. I mean, look at the alignment on that thing.
It's easy. It's so easy. So I don't know, and for me,
yeah.
I like and I've said this time to me. I like the finish. Like I like the weathering, the painting. That's my thing. Building is a means to an end for me. There's a certain satisfaction out of it, but doing something like this would just I don't know.
The only thing you get out of it is, assuming that Tamiya won't release one, is you get a unique aircraft that people typically don't see.
Yeah, you won't see it.
Yeah, pick a subject, guys. If you want something mixed multimedia that's really challenging, pick something that you think, would a company release this? Yeah. That's a tough call, right?
Yeah, because you never know, right?
You know.
I seem to remember a certain was it a T50 that?
Oh my God.
Started building
Yeah.
The old the old Mirage kit or whatever it was,
it was horrible.
And then Hobby Boss came out with
one.
I
went through 3/4 of it, and then Hobby Boss came out with one.
That sucks.
And I used it as a target with my rifle there. Am I allowed to say that?
Well, Harvey, if you need a good therapist, I can recommend one for you. Help you out with this, but no, that's great, and
that's great.
That'll be easy to do. But why don't we have you come back with it when it's done?
Sure.
And you can have another walkthrough of what you did with it.
And when that's done.
Yeah. Well, we'll do this.
And you're going to be doing a whole paint through.
Yeah. So this will all be done on the show here. You'll do this off the show and come back with a finished model. But yeah, great work. That's an impressive amount of aftermarket and stuff.
Beautiful.
But I have to say, I'm much more relaxed. Harvey's kind of shaking a little bit. He's got the jitters. Not quite. But well done. In all seriousness.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
And I'll go home and start to cry and work on this more because it's just a hobby.
It's just a hobby.